Welcome to Rossen Reports. I am Jeff Rossen, and your phone is spying on you. I know what you're saying. I know my phone tracks me. It stinks, but no. Our investigation has uncovered just how far it goes, and it will shock you. It is creepy. We are talking about your phone being able to listen to you, to watch you, to know where you are right now, where you were 2 hours ago, how you got there, how long you were there. But there are ways to stop this from happening. And I am going to, we actually have my phone hooked right up to our screen here. Here I am scrolling around. So I'm going to show you, this is my personal phone. We're friends, right? And I'm gonna show you step by step how to shut these trackers off. We're gonna clean up your phone by the end of the video so you are back to living a private life, because right now you are not. Both iPhone and Android, we have instructions for both. They come with default settings defaulted on that favor the phone makers, that favor these apps being able to track you. And you have to know how to go in and go 10 settings deep to be able to shut it off. They make it hard. But I've been investigating this, and I found the exact step-by-step instructions to make it happen. Plus, so I'm going to walk through that with you, and we're going to do this together, iPhone and Android. And some apps are worse than others. But some of the most popular apps that I can guarantee have on your phone right now and probably use almost every day are some of the worst offenders. The list is out of the worst app offenders as far as collecting your data, and not only collecting it, but then selling it. Selling your data to third parties, including your car insurance. Oh, you park in a bad neighborhood a lot. You stay in a really dimly lit garage. The information's being sent to your insurance company. So when you wonder, why are my premiums going up? It's because of data they're collecting. So your phone is doing a lot more than you even think. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Hit like and subscribe. Especially, I want you to hit that like button because it helps the algorithm send it out to as many people as possible. And hit subscribe and make sure to hit that little bell, the notification bell, because that's how you'll be notified about my live shows. I know a lot of you write in saying, I always miss you live, but this is always available on replay, and it's just as good. But when you're live, you can actually join the chat and join our conversation live as well. And we're going to put your comments on the bottom of the screen. So please join the chat. Let us know what you're thinking about all of this, your experiences with privacy and your phone, and whatever else you want to talk about. Tell us where you're watching from. So how bad is this? How bad is your phone spying on you? We'll put it this way. There's a guy named Edward Snowden. Ever hear of him? Worked for the CIA, was an NSA contractor, the National Security Agency. He's a whistleblower. He blew the whistle on the CIA. Now he lives in Russia. Think what you want of what he did. He's a hero. He's an enemy. Either way, the guy knows privacy and he knows his stuff. And watch what he said. Even he is scared and creeped out by what phones can do and the extent to which they can track you. Listen to Edward Snowden.
Every smartphone, every phone at all, is constantly connected to the nearest cellular tower. Every phone, even when the screen is off, you think it's doing nothing, you can't see it because radio frequency emissions are invisible. It's screaming in the air, saying, here I am, here I am. The phone has the screen off. You don't know what it's connected to. You don't know how frequently it's doing it. Apple and iOS, unfortunately, makes it impossible to see what kind of network connections are constantly made on the device and to intermediate them. You want to be able to download a photograph or whatever, but you don't want it to be able to talk to an ad server. You don't want it to talk to an analytics server that's monitoring your behavior, right? You don't want it to talk to all these third-party things because Facebook crams their garbage into almost every app that you download, and you don't even know it's happening because you can't see it, right? And this is the problem with the data collection use today, is there is an industry that is built on keeping this invisible. If there was a button on your phone that said, do what I want but not spy on me, you would press that button, right? That button does not exist right now. And both Google and Apple, unfortunately, Apple's a lot better at this than Google, but neither of them allow that button to exist. In fact, they actively interfere with it because they say it's a security risk.
But it's also, it may be a security risk for them, but frankly, this is business because they make big money. Your information is almost more valuable to them than anything else. Otherwise, iPhones would be $5,000 each. They want to get them into our hands. They're still expensive, but they want to get them into our hands because these are spying devices. They can sell your data, and it's valuable to a lot of people. And it turns out there are some apps that are worse than others, and PC Magazine is just out with the worst offenders. The apps that are collecting the most data on you and selling the most. And we have the list right over here, and I'm gonna reveal it to you. I'm naming names. That's what we do here. And I want to bring in our guest for today, Naomi Brockwell, privacy expert and founder of the Ludlow Institute. It's a nonprofit dedicated to freedom from technology. How you doing, Naomi?
I'm doing great, although I will say it's not freedom from technology. I actually think that the best way to protect your privacy is to lean into technology, end-to-end encryption. You have all the cutting-edge privacy tech out there to protect yourself.
I love that. So we're going to go through some of the worst offenders on these apps, and I want to get your comments on them. And then I know you have a lot to say about the other things our phones are doing that we're not even aware of. So I want to start here with Facebook and Instagram, something so many of us use every single day. This is the percentage on the left side of the screen of the personal data they collect for app functionality, right? For your convenience. They collect 91.4% of personal data for their own functionality. They then, on the right, this is the percentage of your personal data that they are sharing with third parties, which could be anybody. 68.6%. Okay, which is insane. And then let's go to LinkedIn. Here's another one. These are the worst offenders of the apps, according to PC Magazine. LinkedIn is collecting 74.3% of your data for their app functionality. They're selling less than Facebook by almost half. 37% of your personal data is being shared with third parties, but that's still a lot of data. Amazon. I mean, we all use Amazon. Look at this. They're collecting 68.6% of your personal data for app functionality. This is to make things convenient for you, they say. Now, I will say this about Amazon. Look how low it is of what they're selling, 5.7%, according to PC Magazine. And the other, rounding out the worst two, YouTube. You're watching us there right now. No one's safe. We call it out here at Rossen Reports, no matter what platform we're on. They are collecting 65.7% of your personal data for app functionality. 31.4% of that they are selling off. And Uber, this one actually surprised me, they are collecting 57.1% of your data, and they sell none of it. Uber, that's the first time I've ever seen that. Uber is not selling your personal data. Naomi, when they say they're collecting data for app functionality, is that a load of crap? Is that real? Like, what does that mean? Is that just an excuse?
Yeah, it's a lot of crap. It's egregious how far they stretch these terms. If you actually look into what most of these app companies are doing and what they consider like necessary functionality, they are basically using that as a liability cushion. They're using that as a blank check to do what they want with their data. And I would say that, it's great that people are doing investigations into this, but there is actually no way to verify it is as little as 30% or as little as 40%. Because the thing is, not only is that data, being shared, but then being resold and then resold again. And it's just kind of these shell companies of data brokers, and it goes on and on and on. But as you mentioned, all of this stuff that's going on in the apps, like they may not sell it, but they may share it with countless entities where you're basically the product. So something that Google does is with their real-time bidding system, they technically say, well, we don't sell data. Right. So we all know that Google, they're one of the most egregious offenders. So how can they, with a straight face, say that? Well, what they're doing, every time you go to a page, right, you'll have the text load immediately, and there'll be a split second, these white boxes before they get populated. What's going on in that split second is a real-time auction for your eyeballs. Google is basically spraying out this fire hose of everything they know about you. This is Naomi Brockwell. She really likes cats. She has like a red polka dot, headband. This is her income bracket. This is her religion. This is her political persuasion. They will spray that to thousands of entities, and those entities will bid on the ability to put an ad in that box in front of you. Only one entity pays for it, and they're not technically paying for the data. They're paying for the spot, and thousands of entities get it. So if you look at the list
in a
of
split second like
buyers,
that. So when I put something into search and it populates with the sponsored stuff on top, that's being directed right toward me. That's not just something they bought. That's not a keyword they bought necessarily by itself. They bought the keyword and then they're buying Naomi Brockwell. They're buying Jeff Rossen.
Absolutely, yeah. And so this data, if you look at the approved partners of this, the people who are actually approved to sit in on those auctions, and you try to find information about them, half of them don't have Wikipedia pages. They've scrubbed themselves from the internet. You can't find information about who these companies are. But if you do FOIA requests, and people like Byron Tao, who's a fantastic author who's done a bunch of FOIA requests, found out a lot of these places are, shell companies for government agencies, shell companies for data brokers, things like that. And so this information, it's so much worse than people realize, right? And when they say Uber doesn't share your information, I mean, they're doing the same thing. They have targeted advertising built into their app. We know that we get the same thing. You open the app, there might be a split second, and suddenly there's something that is targeted to exactly where you're about to head in your Uber, right? They're not technically sharing that or selling that, but they are using data about you to allow people to profile you. And it just feeds this enormous surveillance machine.
And you were saying the danger here is that this is just the tip of the iceberg. We talk about the Amazons, the Googles, the Ubers, YouTube, whoever we were talking about there. But you were saying it's hundreds of shady companies and data brokers that you've never heard of, that once they sell it to, then it's sold again and again and again and again and again. And soon everybody in the world has your information, including international entities. Which could also be a security
I'll
risk.
tell you a fun anecdote. And when I say fun, I mean terrifying. Yeah. So hold on. Yeah. The author that I mentioned, Byron Tao, he's sued the government multiple times to kind of get this information. And he has done so many FOIA requests. And his book, Means of Control, is fantastic. He talks about SDKs in your phone. Now, what is that? So let's say you're an app developer and on your weekend, you make a Compass app. You're like, I'm just teaching myself how to make apps. But let's say the Compass app does really well. It gets like 2 million downloads. This free app, it was a side project, 2 million downloads. You will invariably get a call from someone or a message from someone saying, hey, we're an analytics company. We would love you to just put this SDK in your app, or these lines of code.
What's an
in
SDK?
Your app.
Just code?
Okay. So software development kits. So it basically just think of it as insert these lines of code in your app. Now, the developer doesn't know what these lines of code do, and this person is going to sell themselves as, we're just an analytics company. Now, they put these things in the,
and we're going to pay you.
And
yeah,
exactly. Now, the app developer, what started as a side project, they get a couple of $1,000s a month just from analytics. Byron Tao did a bunch of FOIA requests and found out that actually there are tons of government entities that are putting these things into our apps. So one of them that he called out, it was this app that targeted a specific religious group in the United States, and they were siphoning that data. This is all true and verified through FOIA requests, and you check out his book. But they were literally tracking people in the United States using this data that people were installing on their own cell phones. So that's how deep this stuff goes. It's not just the commercial entities, it's people hijacking the software already on your device for their own means. And sometimes the developers themselves don't even know what's going on.
Right. So it's the government watching us on top of everything. So it's going to the bad guys,
everyone,
potential scammers, and the government, who may or may not be scammers themselves sometimes, right, as well. And so what is, it's bad now. Give me a quick outlook for 2026 and beyond, because if it's bad now, this stuff doesn't get better for us. It only gets worse. What's the next frontier of spying on us through our phones as AI becomes bigger?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely in our hands, right? We are heading down a dark path if we just continue on our current trajectory. I wish I could have more optimistic news, but the optimistic news is that we are empowered to make better choices. So every time you choose a company that is part of this surveillance machine that is exploiting people, is using data and making people more vulnerable, you're opting to use their product instead of a company that is trying to protect you, is trying to instill better privacy practices. So you're basically feeding the market that is surveilling and exploiting people instead of trying to boost their competition. So we actually have a lot of power in terms of our market choices according to what sort of future we're going to build. Now, the future could be incredibly optimistic, right? If we all decide, hey, I'm just going to boycott a lot of this stuff and use alternatives that protect me. I don't need to use Gmail. I can use, Proton Mail, something that end-to-end encrypts my emails. I don't need to use, Instant Messenger on Instagram. I can use Signal Messenger and protect my data. Every time we make a conscious decision to protect ourselves, we're actually creating a better future for our children, for future generations. So it's not just about whether I feel I have anything to hide in my text messages, like, oh, I don't really care, I'm just going to keep using the spying version. Understand it's not just affecting you. You are actively contributing to an ecosystem that is exploiting people and harming them, and you have the choice to actually divert the future. Let's create a different path and make better choices and build the future we actually want to see. I feel like people are more empowered than they realize.
Yeah, and so often we choose convenience over that, right? We want our Uber Eats, we want our Amazon right to our front door, and because of that, we give them everything, and we give them everything about us, down to what kind of tacos we like, and then they sell that, and then we're surprised when we get an ad for certain kind of tacos in 2 weeks. Naomi Brockwell, thank you. I would say thank you so much, but not really. But I do appreciate your time.
Thank you for terrifying us.
Yeah, but it's great. We'll talk more about this. This is not going away from the Ludlow Institute. You guys do such great work. Thank you so much, Naomi.
Thank you so much.
All right, there is one piece of good news, and that is that my phone is connected up to our screen, and I'm going to walk you step by step about the most you can do to get as private as you can in 2026, okay? So how do you start? The first thing is you never want to give them the ability to track you. Now, just recently, they've started asking you, do you want you probably downloaded apps and it says, do you want to allow them to track you? And hopefully you say no. But just in case, because a lot of stuff was grandfathered in, let me walk you through right now. Let's call up my phone here real quick. And again, this is my personal phone. Yep, these are my apps, so take notice. No problem. We're friends. Don't take advantage of me. All right, so go into settings, right, okay? Then I want to come over here to, then go into privacy, which is, where are you? Privacy and security. You see it right there? I'm going to move it to the middle of the screen. Privacy and security, click into that, right? Then I want you to go to tracking. You see it says tracking right there? Look, it says 24 next to it. Open that up. Look at this. On the top, automatically defaulted on. And this is what angers me so much about Apple, about Android devices. This stuff comes defaulted on, so you got to go in to shut it off. And look at this. These are all of the apps that are literally tracking me right now. HP, my printer. It's my printer. Why in the world is my printer tracking me, okay? When I make invoices, my invoice app, Marriott's tracking me, McDonald's is tracking me, and it just goes on and on and on. So what I want you to do, you can click each of these off if you want, but I want you to go to the very top and flip that off, okay? Allow apps to request to track, it goes off. Do you want to ask apps that previously allowed to track you to stop tracking, okay? I want you to shut this off. Ask apps to stop tracking. Right there in the middle, hit that, boom. And look how they all just went off. Do not let them track you. It only helps them. I do want to show you on Android how to do this as well, because I know that's very important. So on Android, go to Settings, then go to Google, then go to All Services, then go to Ads. Look how hard they make this. They're not making this easy. Then go to Add Privacy. And again, take a little photo of this on the screen right now, or better yet, just share the video with your friends, because we got a lot of stuff you're going to want to pull out your phone for and go through. So Settings, Google, All Services, Ads, Add Privacy, and then I want you to shut all of these off. Add Topics, shut it off. App Suggested Ads, shut it off. Add Measurement, shut that off too. So get all that off. There are also apps that are tracking you, it turns out, at all times. revealing very personal things about you that not only impact your privacy, but actually cost you a lot of money. I mentioned at the top of the show, they can know if you park your car, and it's just a great example for car insurance. You park your car in a certain place every night, but that's not what you told the insurance company. You told them you parked in a different zip code, or you parked it in your driveway, and they know now you don't, and they will increase your rates. And all this information, by the way, remember, it's not just going to your insurance company. They are selling it to third-party brokers who literally just deal in data and trade you like a baseball card. You're not even a human being anymore. You are an entity, okay? But there's a way to shut this off too. Let's pull my phone back up, okay? Phone's coming back up. We're back into, let's go to the home screen again just to start, okay? We're gonna go to settings, and I have all this written down, and we can go through this slow. Oh, yours are already shut off. That's awesome. I see that comment. All right, so we're going to go to settings on the left, okay? Now we're back into privacy and security, right in the middle of the screen right over there. You see it? Okay, do that. Then, right on top of tracking, and now, remember I had like 24 things on tracking? Now I have none. Right above it is location services. You see where it says location services? Click on location services. And again, this is where you can go into each app, and you can do never. Here, let me give you the choices here. I'll go into my... Chevron. Yeah, so you can do never, you can do ask next time or when I share, while I use the app, or always. Obviously, there's no reason. And by the way, shut off precise location. I can't believe I have that on. There's no reason your precise location should be on ever. They can have a general idea even when you want them to know. So shut all of that off. Go into each app and see what you want it to track and what you don't want it to track. Let me show you the quick Android settings for you real quick. Settings, then location, then app location permissions. I want you to set up most of the apps, again, unless you use them all the time and they need to know where you are, allow only while using or never for some of them. And again, just like I did in the iPhone, shut off precise locations as well, all right? But here is the mother load. This is the one that when I show my friends this, they go, what in the hell? Apple is tracking you right now, no matter where you go. It knows how long you've been there, the route you took to get there. It knows where you live. It knows where you work. It knows where you like to eat. It is tracking you as we speak, and it is on your phone right now. It's on, unless you've heard this before and you've shut it off, and they make it hard. I am going to walk through this with you step by step. This is probably the most important one in the entire show in just a moment. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Quince. A well-built wardrobe is really about pieces that work together, hold up over time, and don't make you feel like you overspent. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, and everyday staples that feel easy to wear and easy to rely on even as the weather changes. That's why I love Quince. I'm a customer. The quality is amazing. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for any occasion, and lighter jackets that keep you warm even as the seasons change. And this is huge. Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman, so you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. And they only partner with factories that meet serious standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. I'm wearing this is a Quince polo right now. It looks good, it keeps me warm, and I didn't break the bank. I get tons of compliments on this. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Rossen for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Rossen. Free shipping, 365-day returns. Quince.com/Rossen. Apple is tracking you everywhere you go. It's tracking how you get there, how long you were there. It knows everything. But right now, we are going to shut this off. And what angers me most is this comes defaulted on your phone. So we're going to do this together. Call up my phone again. Call my phone up. All right, here we go. We're going to do this together. So we got it. There we are. Okay, here's my phone. I'm scrolling around. You got it. This is my live phone here. All right, so settings. I have it on the left there. All right, we're going to come back down, and we're scrolling back down to privacy and security right there in the middle of the screen. I know. Sean feels overwhelmed. By the way, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. It helps to support our independent consumer journalism. Takes resources to do all this, and I appreciate it. It feels futile to learn because tech is always one step ahead. I just assume my info is exposed. We'll watch it again, though. Yes, you please do all this because the best we can do, this is a way for you to still live in the world. I'm not telling you to, I'm not like shut everything down, but this is the stuff that they put on that you don't actually need. So that's why I want you to do it. So we're in settings, we're in privacy and security. Click into that. They make this very, very hard, but we're going to go step by step. And again, share this. You can replay it anytime you want. Pause it, play it again. Go into location services right at the top. You see location services? Great. Scroll almost all the way down beyond all of your apps. At the very bottom, you see it says system services. Hit system services. Okay. Then you have all this stuff. Again, including compass calibration. What they make this so hard. Scroll all the way down again, right at the bottom, sort of toward the bottom there. See, it says significant locations and R. It actually is significant locations and routes. It's right under Wi-Fi calling, kind of in the middle of the screen right now. Hit that. I want you to go into that. I'm going to unlock it. Look at this. It's toggled on. Apple, since December, on my phone, this is live, they have 213 records, okay? 213 records of where I've been, including shopping centers, okay? And I don't know if you can look really closely. That's the time I was there. It's got the dates and the times that I was in each of these locations. Here, this is a Sam's Club I was shooting at yesterday for an upcoming Rossen Reports episode, okay? Sam's Club versus BJ's, that's coming up. I was there yesterday, and it knows I was there from 12:39 p.m. to 2:42 p.m. How freaky is that? Why the hell does Apple have any right to know that? So go to the top of this. First of all, go to the bottom, actually. You see it says clear history, or at the very, very bottom? I want you to hit clear history. Look how hard they make it. Are you sure you want to clear significant locations and routes off this iPhone and other devices signed into your iCloud account? Yeah, thank you for asking. I'm definitely sure. I'm going to clear the history. So I just hit it. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Now, look, boom, 0 records. We did it. 0 records. Now I want you to come to the top, and you see that little green toggle? I'm going to toggle it right off. And again, they ask you, disabling significant locations and routes will affect many Apple apps and services for personalized location services, such as Maps, Driving Focus, CarPlay, Siri, Calendar, and Photos. Off. They don't get to know every place that I'm going. I'm sorry. And you can go in if you see that you need certain things. I kind of talk about this like I always tell you guys to freeze your credit report. I think credit reports should get frozen at all times. So that way scammers can't open accounts in your name. And when you're going to get a car, when you're going to, you need a credit check if you're going to buy an apartment or rent an apartment or a house, unfreeze it for a certain amount of time, use it, and then go back and freeze it again. It's the same with this. You can shut this stuff off, and then you can turn it back on the moment you need it, and then you can turn it back off again. But it's about to get much, much creepier. This is the height of creepiness. They can access your microphone and your camera when you don't even know it. But there's a little tell inside your phone that you may not even recognize and know to look for to tell you if your microphone and your camera is on. Now, when you're on a FaceTime call, you of course expect your camera to be on your microphone. If you're recording a video, same thing. But what happens when you're just walking around or using an app and they're watching you and they're listening to you? Because they can do it. I'm about to show you how to shut that off too. But first you have to know what to look for. So watch this video.
Phone. Everybody, but do you have this little yellow dot on your camera? Seriously, look on yours. Look on yours.
I call.
Do you have that? A little yellow dot on the camera right there?
Yes.
You do? You know what that is, right?
What?
That means some app is watching. Yeah, I Googled it. Yeah.
Yeah, he Googled it. Well, don't worry. We investigate it. We don't bring you anything. We don't just play TikToks. We bring you the stuff that matters and the stuff that's true. I investigated. It is totally true. So you want to know how to shut this off and exactly what to look for. I'm going to walk you through that. But there is a great explanation I found on YouTube from this awesome cybersecurity expert and software company that I wanted to show you, because this breaks down how the microphone and the camera work and how they can use it behind the scenes. Roll clip 3.
So the green and orange dots on your iPhone are built-in security features introduced in iOS 14. You see, they're designed to protect your privacy by showing you when your camera or microphone is in use. The green dot indicates the camera, or both the camera and microphone, are active. For example, when taking a photo or during a FaceTime call. Now the orange dot appears when only the microphone is in use, such as during a voice memo or phone call. These dots act as safeguards, giving you transparency over your device's activity. But what if these dots appear unexpectedly? Sometimes the green or orange dot may show up, and you're left scratching your head because you didn't open an app that uses the microphone or camera. Well, here are some possible reasons. First, some apps may continue to access these features if left open in the background. For example, if you recently used a video conferencing app or social media platform but didn't fully close it. Second, certain websites might have permission to use your microphone or camera. This is common for video chat platforms, online document scanners, and any site requiring audio or visual input. And finally, the most concerning possibility: spyware or other malicious software. In some cases, these dots may indicate that a hidden app is secretly accessing your microphone or camera to monitor you. But no matter the cause, the key is to investigate and act quickly when something seems suspicious.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to walk you through how to make sure your camera and your microphone are off. And also, you can actually check right now live. We're going to do this together. What your microphone and camera, what apps have access to it right now that you probably didn't even know about. I see you're saying cover your camera, but it's very hard when you're walking around on your phone. It's one thing on your laptop. It's harder on your phone. All right. So once again, everything lives inside of this area right here, the settings. So we're coming back to our favorite spot on the show, privacy and security. Hit that. Okay. Then I want you to go through the following categories. I want you to come down to let's do microphone first. So you can see my microphone there. 17 apps have access to my microphone. Okay, so let's open them. Look at this. Eclipse View, Instagram, Ring, Sonos. Why would Sonos need to listen to me? My Uber app has access to my microphone. Why? Why does Uber have access to my microphone? Waze, YouTube, Zoom. So you can go through these and click off the ones, like, for example, Uber, I'm shutting off right now, and I'll give the rest later. So that's for the microphone. Shut those down. Go back in, and I want you to come over to camera. There are even more apps that have access to my camera, 24 of them. So we're going to open the camera app together. Remember, we're in settings, then privacy and security, and now we're in the camera. And look at this. Amazon has access to my camera. My bank, Chase, has access to my camera. My security cameras. My HP, that's my printer, guys. My printer has access to my camera. Why? All I do is tell it to print things. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. So you need to go through this. Waze. I use Waze for directions. Why does it need to see me? And are they taking snapshots of me? How does that work? It's absolutely disgusting, and this is what's going on. And there's one final setting on your phone right now that I wanted to get to because it's in the brand new Apple iOS 26 update that he probably brought down a couple months ago. This is a dangerous setting that allows Apple to collect almost whatever they want about you, and there's no upside for you. I actually just posted this to Instagram, and I wanted to show you the step-by-step on that. So let's roll that clip 5. This is, and this one's not in the privacy and security section. They really buried this one so you can't find it, but I found it for you. I have a new iPhone privacy alert and something I want you to shut off on your iPhone right now so they stop tracking you. It's with the new iOS 26 software update, and they sneakily have something in the default on position that we want off. Come on in. I want you to come to your settings right over here, okay? Hit settings. Then I want you to scroll down here to search. See, it says search. Hit search. That right there. Help Apple improve search. Look, they automatically have it on. Help improve search by allowing Apple to store the searches you enter into Safari, Siri, and Spotlight, and in a way that is not linked to you. No, we're shutting that off. I don't want them knowing my searches. You don't want them knowing your searches. Shut it off now. The bottom line is everyone is spying on you. You know your phone is tracking you, but it goes much further than that. Share this video, please, with your family and your friends. Pause it. I want you to go sit there with your phone and go through it and shut all this off so we can be as private as we possibly can while still living in the world. And we'll see you next time.